here with Old Town, coming at you from Dayton, Tennessee. As you can see, it's a much nicer day today, which was pleasant on everyone. Photo boat, anglers included. We had a much more pleasant day today, which we're all grateful for. Today really was very interesting. It's really a testament to how no two days are the same, both weather-wise and fishing. Right out of the gate, we saw a lot of big fish hit the leaderboard, and a lot changed between day one and day two. We'll get into that in just a second. Real quick, I want to say if you are in the greater Tennessee area and you're planning on swinging into the Bassmaster Expo, make sure you come by the Old Town booth. We'd love to meet you. We'll be giving away prizes, and we're going to be celebrating our 125th anniversary as a company at our booth with a special announcement at 9 a.m. tomorrow, so make sure you stay tuned. Okay, so today, 80-degree day, much nicer, much different, a different vibe altogether. The weather definitely played a factor. The fish behaved quite a bit different, and we're going to talk to our anglers here in just a second. But I will talk about how the anglers did move the leaderboard quite a bit right out of the gate this morning. We saw our man Roy Grubb, who we'll talk to in just a minute, really hover in the top 3 spots for the first few hours of the day. At the end of the day, before the leaderboard went dark, he was in 7th place. We're really curious to see where he ends up, which we will find out tomorrow when they announce the top 10 anglers on the Bassmaster stage at the Expo Center in Knoxville. So first things first, I think we can bring Roy in here. I'd love to recap what today was like for you. I mean, you were on fire. I kept refreshing Tourney X throughout the day. You were oscillating between 2nd, 3rd, 5th, 7th, 5th, 7th. It was really, it was weighing on my psyche. I'd love to know how it was weighing on yours and how your day ended up.
I didn't really look at the leaderboard much, to tell you the truth. The only time I looked, I was in 2nd, and that bout gave me a stroke out on the water, so I decided I wasn't going to look anymore. I probably culled 7 times, so I mean, I was in a good area for a lot of fish. I just wasn't in the right area for the big fish. And yesterday I kind of fished the day out right the last 30 minutes with a 19.25, and today I was just hoping I could pull that off again, but that's keeping me right there borderline 10th or 11th. I have a feeling I'm first out, but I'm going to go in and see here in just a minute.
So you're in the money, which is great. Hopefully that will cover some of your costs and make it worth your while being out here. It obviously is going to help your AOI points for the year. You know, I'd love to talk about, you know, when you came into the pre-fish, you found a pretty special pattern. Yesterday kind of threw it on its head a bit because of the weather. Did really the fish behave kind of how you expected based on what you had patterned in pre-fish?
Yeah, the morning was the same, believe it or not. The rain didn't change anything from yesterday to today, but we did get some wind today, which we didn't have yesterday, and that created a heck of a mud line for about 10 feet out. And so in a lot of the places I was fishing yesterday that were really good spots, the mud line was just too far out. So I had to find some new areas, but then the numbers came there too.
Gotcha. Now that we're past the event, I'd love to hear what you were throwing, what was working.
Yeah, so I had some chunk rock that I was catching quite a few smaller ones with the rattle trap and a square bill crankbait from She Angler Customs, and then I never could catch anything over about 14.5 with those baits though. So I kind of went to a slow roll with the beaver style bait and Reaction Innovations, and just a 1/4 ounce weight since there wasn't any wind early on today, and I was just pulling that over timber. And I mean, almost every cast for hours, it seemed like I was getting a bite.
Well, I got to say, man, a heck of a performance. I mean, this field was stacked with some of the best anglers that exist in kayak angling. And for you to only be 1 or 2 spots out of the top 10, you're in the money. That's really impressive. Congratulations. Thank you so much for representing us and the sport of kayak fishing. When are we going to see you next?
Probably going to be in South Carolina for the bass event over there on Hartwell.
Great. Well, if you want to see more of Roy Grubb, make sure you follow him on social and keep track of him on Tourney X throughout the year. We'll see you at the next one, Roy. Thank you so much.
You guys.
All right, let's call in Chad Davidson. You know, you seem to be on to something a little bit better than yesterday. I'd love for you to recap your day, what you're throwing, what was working, and your experience today.
Yeah, I caught all of my fish both days on the same setup. I was fishing a 3/16 ounce shaky head with a little finesse worm called a crocodile shorty, and it's basically kind of like a Ned rig size bait, and I was just dragging it on pretty much main points right at the mouth of one particular cove that I knew the fish were going to be headed in there to spawn eventually. It seemed like they were still kind of sitting out offshore, and every now and then I could find some pulling up on some steeper banks in that area, and if I could drag it in front of them, I'd get a bite. I wasn't getting a lot of bites, but I was grinding out 5 a day, which at this event, it was something, and so I don't feel like I ever found like a winning pattern, so I was just trying to fish the fish I found and do the best that I could, and I'm pretty happy with my performance. I think I'm probably going to be hovering around the top 20, so not a bad day.
Awesome. Well, good job. It was really tough out there, especially yesterday, having to survive the weather and just stay in it. You definitely had a strong performance when you compare it to how the rest of the field did. When are we going to see you next? What's your plans for the rest of the tournament season?
Well, I'm fishing a lot of different circuits. Fished the All-American Kayak Series. I also fish a club back in Missouri called Moyak. It's one of the largest kayak clubs in the country. We average,
and it's one of the clubs that we selected as a grassroots club to support. It's a program that we did this year where we selected 12 clubs, supplied them with $2,500 to go towards prizes, as well as a free kayak to give away. So that's awesome that you're involved in that. What else?
Yeah, we're really excited about that program too. It's a great deal. So I'm fishing Moyak, and then I'm going to try and fish a couple more Bassmaster events this year. So just kind of see what fits in my schedule. And these national events are, I'm a little bit newer to that. Last year was my first year fishing some national events, and I fished Gunnersville this year in this one. So it's good experience, and I'm looking forward to doing more of them.
So Chad Davidson from Missouri, we're just honored to have you on our team. Thank you so much for being here, and good job.
Thank you, Ryan.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
Travel safe. All right, I'd like to call in Chris Hartman. Chris, you're an international man of mystery. We could not find you today.
Well, again, there was nothing to see. I caught 3 today, but yeah, it wasn't worth.
So a bit of a better day. Do you think the weather played a factor in that?
No, I think I just almost got lucky the way I felt. The way it was just, it wasn't. It definitely, the bite and everything definitely changed today, and a lot more boat traffic. It was almost like a weekend. I couldn't believe how much
we were
boat traffic.
commenting on that because we had the photo boat. We moved ramps a few times today. Yesterday was obviously dead because of the weather. Today we couldn't. It was hard pressed to find a parking spot. So that definitely played a factor.
Yeah, I was fishing actually right here, and the whole channel all the way out. I mean, the channel is, the boats are running, and it was nonstop, like I was in the ocean almost. But I mean, that's. You just deal with it. That's kayaking, right?
So on to the next one. Where are we going to see you next this season?
The plan was, I think I'm going to South Carolina, probably the Hartwell event. I'm not going to do the Santee Cooper. I was going to have something come up to that one for the Hobie event. So I'll be doing probably Hartwell.
Well, Chris, it's been a pleasure hanging out with you this week. We're honored to have you on our team. We hope you travel safe, and we'll see you at the next one.
Yeah, it was awesome. Being able to participate in this and then representing Old Town was just a bonus,
Well,
so it was awesome.
The pleasure's ours, man. We're grateful to have you a part of our team.
All right, thanks, Ryan.
All right, Garrett Morgan, little bit of a heartbreak today. I'd love for you to kind of recap your day and share the unfortunate situation that you find yourself in today.
Well, I will say you couldn't do today what you did yesterday. Yesterday I caught fish on a shaky head. I wanted to stay in the same area because I knew there were some bigger bites to be found around there. Didn't feel like those fish would move out of the area completely. You just may have to kind of figure something out differently. I was fishing an area where there's 3 creeks that come together. It took me quite a while to actually pattern the fish in the area. Figured out that one of the 3 creeks was warming up faster than the other 2. It had some 60-degree water in it by 1 o'clock today, and I caught an 18.75 right off a sandbar that was hugged up to that creek. Take a picture of the fish. It was my 5th fish. End up submitting my fish, and I get a notification that one of my pictures was denied. Turns out it was the 18.75. I pulled an older ID out of my pocket where I put my IDs. So it's my fault. You know, I probably need to throw all the IDs from the tournaments that I have in the trash after this. It was a day 2 ID though. It was just from a different event. You know, just a bonehead mistake. That would have put me at 164.25. Probably would have been in the top 10. I didn't let it get me down completely. I ended up, you know, coaling 3 times after that, got to 160. So probably finished in the top 20, which, you know, I would have liked to done better, but still not too bad out of 132 folks.
Not at all, and definitely helps the AOI chase if you plan to do that. I'd love to know what the plan is for you for the rest of the tournament season.
You know, I'm kind of just taking it one event at a time with work and trying to balance those things. I do plan to go to Hartwell. I plan to try to get all the Bassmaster events. Didn't get off to a great start this year with the first event, so I'm behind the 8 ball on that. But maybe I can make up some ground along the way and climb into the AOI race. So it's going to be a long season for everybody, so it'll come down to the end.
Well, thank you so much for being here. It's an honor to have you on our team, Garrett. We really just enjoy having you represent not only the sport, but also Old Town.
Well, and I appreciate you guys very much, and this is seriously not a plug, but I used that autopilot and that current all day today. Once I got positioned in the middle of the creek where I could make the same cast to that sandbar, there's no way you could do that in a pedal kayak and do it comfortably. So definitely came in handy today. Got to utilize the spot lock pretty much all day.
Well, there you have it, kids. Get yourself an autopilot and you can fish like Garrett. Hey, travel safe, man. Appreciate you. All right, Possum King, a.k.a. Beaver King. Sounds like you could have had a limit of beavers. Tell us about your day.
Oh, man. Started off this morning surrounded by beavers. I think our final count was 6, and they just wouldn't leave me alone. They kept circling me. I was almost positive they were carnivorous. So,
you know, tough day yesterday.
Yep.
Backed up by another tough day today. Any predictions about how it's going to shake out with the rest of the field here today?
Man, the field totally flipped upside down. It was a really tough day for a lot of anglers. I don't know how it's going to go. There's new people in the top 10 now, and there's people that were in the top 10 that are no longer there. So,
yeah, it just goes to show that it can change at the drop of a hat. You know, was it the weather? You know, did people mix things up and find new patterns? It's just kind of a curious thing, and it's just a testament to how much of a head game this is. You can be the most skilled angler, and you know, there's variables you just can't control.
yeah, I mean, the weather, the up and down, I think going from front to bluebird skies, I think that did a lot of damage, and people thought it was going to turn on the bite, and it really turned it off today.
Yeah, very interesting. Mark, we love having you on our team, man.
Like being here.
And we hope you have a safe trip home. I'd love to know parting thoughts on what the rest of your tournament schedule is going to look like this year.
Busy. I get home tomorrow. I got baseball games with Gavin and Spencer Saturday, Sunday to turn around and leave for Santee. Then I got about 2 big tournaments a month after that, all the way to August.
Well, man, balancing coaching your kids, you know, ball teams, as well as, you know, being one of the most elite guys in the game. My hat's off to you.
Appreciate
We
it.
wish you luck at the next ones,
Thank
and
you,
thank
sir.
you so much, Mark.
Have a good one.
Okay, I'd like to call in Mr. Jeff Malott. You might know him from The Nation.
The Nation.
And would love to hear. I mean, you caught a limit today.
Yeah.
You'd mentioned that they're a bit smaller. So just recap your day and the overall tournament.
Yeah, yesterday I stumbled on a deal when you guys rolled up in the camera boat, loaded with smallmouth, 1 point, just loaded with them. Smallmouth disappeared, didn't catch one today. So I kind of stayed there too long, trying to force that smallmouth bite. It was not there, so I scrambled around, scraped together a limit of largemouth, and you know, hopefully had a respectable finish. So we'll see.
Yeah. So you know, again, I said earlier in one of our previous lives, you probably know the field better than most. Do you have any predictions about how this is going to shake out?
No, I mean, the guy I was wanting to win struggled today. You know, two-day tournaments, you never know how it's going to go. My boy Ryan Lambert, I just talked to him on the phone before I pulled in. He struggled, and I know some other guys caught him, so I don't know how it's going to shake out.
Yep.
Russ Snyder's always a threat. Some others always a threat in there, so we'll see.
Yep. Ryan had a phenomenal day yesterday when most people suffered and struggled. Yeah. He pulled, 98 and a half or something like that, and had a rough day today. Again, a testament to how much this can change and how you have to stay in it. If you had a good first day, it doesn't mean that you can punch your ticket for day 2.
That's right. Yeah, absolutely.
So what's next for you on the tournament scene this year?
I'm going to take a little time, a month or so off. Then I'm going to hit the Hobie event at Kentucky Lake in May. Then I'll be back with Bass at Possum Kingdom in June.
Jeff, it's an honor to have you on our team. We love having you. Thank you so much for representing not only Old Town, but the sport of kayak fishing. You do a lot for it. We really appreciate you, man.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Ryan.
Yep, travel safe. All right, folks, that's it for today. We really appreciate you tuning in this week. We will be sharing results of the Classic, and we will share who actually takes the victory tomorrow. Bassmaster will also be broadcasting the live results tomorrow at 3:25 Eastern. Again, we have an announcement tomorrow that celebrates our 125th anniversary as a company. Tune in at 9 a.m. tomorrow on our social channels as well as YouTube. And if you're in the Knoxville area, we'd love to meet you. Come by the booth and check out our products, meet our team. And that's it for tonight. We hope you all have a great night, and we'll see you at the next one.